All right, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Come on. Yeah. I see you, babe. Get your shine on. Get your glow up.
People.
One time for the babies on the south side, the east side, the west side, the north side. Shot.
We good?
Give me a second, as the camera is not right.
Beautiful day.
All right, now we good. Touch your mic real quick before we get started. Talking it. Don't tap it.
Testing.
Thank you. I don't know why people think this.
Right, I know. Boom.
All right. Let's see. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good morning. This is the fitness representative bringing to you today's version of the Fitness Report radio show, live from Intellectual Radio. We are in the studio today. Beautiful day outside, y'all. Beautiful day outside. And I'm just blessed to be here, so got a little smile on my face for the simple fact that it's Friday. And even though for myself, most days are the same, really don't change up as much. I don't do the 9 to 5 thing, so it's a little bit different, but it's the same on a daily basis. But thank y'all for joining us today. This is the Fitness Report radio show, and we got a nice show coming up for you today. We're going to give out a lot of information. We're going to give out a lot of reasons to do things in the upcoming months for the simple fact that, hey, it's Chicago and it's warm. And even though we got some craziness ahead as far as the weather, don't let it dampen your spirits. Don't let it change you. It's just temporary. It's only going to be for a couple of days, maybe. If not, just for that day, just like last time, like a couple weeks ago, it was pretty crazy. But got a lot of information for you guys coming up today. Hope you join us. Hope you interact. Hope you call in, because we're gonna do a segment where you get to call in and ask questions and get some information on what it is you're interested in as far as health and fitness. Like to give out a lot of info to the public, like to dispel of a lot of rumors and a lot of things that just aren't true when it comes to health and fitness and when it comes to personal training in particular. So today's show, we're just going to go over some things that are really important to the community. And one of them being health and fitness, staying in shape, and what type of help you need when it comes to doing so. As a fitness professional, you always want to be at the top end of the knowledge aspect of fitness. You always want to know and be able to tell your audience and your client and anyone else who you come in contact with information that's needed for them to get by, for them to succeed, progress, and do all those things when it comes to personal training and health and fitness. So I tell you, as a fitness professional, it's my job to stay on the cutting edge when it comes to different types of equipment, when it comes to different types of techniques, when it comes to what you should and shouldn't focus on as far as your body. I just want to know, are you guys ready for the summertime? Because it's coming. It's coming whether you're ready or not. The summer is coming. And it's my job to try to get people ready for that time of year. It's only a few months in Chicago. We don't get that much sun. We don't get that much heat. But when we do, it gets really hot. Everybody hits the beach, and that 2-3 million people all come out at the same time. So we want to make sure you guys are ready today. And from here on, it's almost May. So from here on, we want you guys to work towards getting ready for the summer because, hey, you want to look your best. You want to feel your best, and you always want to be on top of your health totally, all year long. So why not take advantage of the time you have? And like I said, it's May, so, we can start now. So first off, I want to give a couple of shout outs today. Want to mention so many people. We're going to mention a few that are really special as far as just on a day-to-day basis, them just being good people. So first off, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my clients and friends, once again, Mr. Ron Officer. Ron Officer, who is not a spring chicken. Ron Officer sees me on a weekly basis, sees me all the time. We train all the time. And Ron is in pretty good shape. Very lively man. Very lively young man with a lot of experience and just an all-around good person. I would like to give a shout out to Ron today for being a valued customer for the last 7 years. And I would like to tell Ron that I hope he continues to try to get into a better state of physical health like he always has. I hope he stays vibrant, stays full of energy and full of health. He's not, like I say, he's not a spring chicken, but if in the mind, he might as well be a 20-year-old. And he says something to me. And I always mention this because he's a special client of mine, but I always mention what he said to me a while back. And you might have heard me say it before, but he told me one time when we were training, he said, Jabori, I've been thinking a lot about death. And I'm like, okay, you start to do that at that age. And because basically you're looking at, hey, I got more time. At some point, you're looking at how you have less time on Earth than you've actually been on Earth. So if right now I'm early 40s, I'm 42, and I would think, okay, maybe I'm at my halfway point if I do things right, So I'm not really looking at the issue of when I'm gonna pass away naturally, because anything can happen. So when you get 50s, 60s, 70s, a lot of times you tend to think, hey, I got way more. I've been on this earth way longer than what I might have left on this earth. So you tend to, sometimes you get worried about that because you think about yourself leaving sooner than later. And these years are not, these years are just going. They're not playing. They're not even trying to wait at all. You can't get anything done within the 24 hours. So I believe someone's going to change that soon. It's going to mess around and be 26 hours. But Ron told me, he said, Jabori, he was on the treadmill. We working out, training, and I always make him do a treadmill warm-up. And he said to me, he was like, Jabori, I've been thinking about death a lot lately. And not like suicidal death, just like a natural death. And I'm like, so what is it that you think about the most? And he spoke on it. He was like, hey, I was just thinking of how sad it would be. And, of course we agreed on that. And he was basically saying how sad it would be to leave all his friends behind, and how he wouldn't get to go to Cubs and Sox games anymore, and how he wouldn't get to travel and see all of his old school friends who are all doing pretty good, And of course he said, I wouldn't get to train anymore with you. And that touched me like to the bottom of my heart, because it's the type of situation that you want to be in as a personal trainer. And I speak on it all the time. You really do want to, be special to your clients, whether it's because you're tough or whether it's because you're very endearing and very, you can be emotional when they need you. A lot of those things that, as a Marine, we don't really focus on as much. So for someone to say that they're going to miss me if the ultimate happens, that means a lot. That means a lot, and that means something special to me because it lets me know that I've had a huge impact on this person's life. So, shout out to Ron Officer for that. Next one I wanted to mention was my father. My father basically broke his leg about a month ago. Probably maybe a month ago today, or a little bit over a month. And if you know my dad is a go-getter. He can't sit still. He's always working. And once he get off work, he's always working. So for him to be in the house, laid up on this brand new leather automatic engine type recliner, basically is killing him on the inside. He called me one day and he was like, he was like, we need to do breakfast. And I'm like, breakfast, man? You live an hour away from me. And traffic is crazy, So I'm thinking like, what do you mean breakfast? And he was just basically delirious at the time, if you ask me, because he just wanted me to come see him. So, of course, I took the first opportunity I had to go see him, but I understood where he was coming from because he had surgery. Everything came out fine. And ever since then, he's been sitting in that one spot for the most part throughout the day. So I went up to see him over the weekend, hung out with him, and bought him some food, and we all ate and talked and reminisced on things. And it just lets you know that family is super important. And even though we all don't get a chance to be around ours enough, and then again, maybe we do, because family could be a headache too. But seeing that we don't get to spend those quality moments enough like we should due to our lives, work, and just sometimes being introverts, is pretty cool that I get to see, I get to hang out with my dad and kind of like brighten his day for the moment. He's got like another month and a half, I believe, to go through this, and everything should be fine. But during that time, I just want to let him know, just as well as anybody else out there who's hurt, who's hurt, who's laid up, who can't move around, they're not as mobile as they used to be. I want to let you guys know that this is when your diet plays the biggest part in your life, even more so than when you're active, as far as the appearance goes. If you can't move around and you can't do what you normally do physically, what's going to stop you from gaining a lot of weight? What's going to stop you from just falling apart physically? A lot of times you can put on 30, 40, 50 pounds. I mean, a woman that carries a child for 9 months, she puts it on not only because the child is growing, but because she can't do what she used to do physically a lot of times. So for my dad to break his foot, he really changed his situation, and hopefully between now and the time he gets healed, he can honestly get that diet right and be ready to go once he's able to move around. So shout out to my dad, Victor, who recently broke his foot and is really going through the mental stage of what it is to sit your ass down without doing it like voluntarily. So shout out to you, Dad. But like I said, good show today. The Fitness Report radio show live to you on Facebook Live and Intellectual Radio. The number to call in is 708-223-8953. We got a lot going on today and a lot we want to discuss. And the first thing we want to go into, summertime shy. Summertime shy. Like I said earlier, this is the time of year when a lot of things happen in Chicago, good and bad. And it's unfortunate that it has to be that way, but it's the perfect time of the year for those of you who are totally trying to make a change. It's a perfect time for those of you who really want to get yourselves right, get in shape, and really understand what your body has to offer. It's the time of the year where You basically bloom like a butterfly, like an insect, like a flower, and you use these next few months to show what you got. So I'm not different from anyone else. Come May 1st, I'm going on this nice little 4-week diet. And it's not going to be anything super strenuous. It's not going to be anything that can't be done, but it will be a diet that's not going to be maintained throughout the summer. It's just going to be one for the moment, just to kick off the summer months, because, you know, you got to take them trips and you got to actually hang out around Chicago. So, summertime shot. My question to you today, and I hope you guys interact with me on this one. Like I said, number to call in is 708-223-8953. My question to you is, what's your favorite activity in the summertime in Chicago? We got May, summer May. We got May, June, July, August, and even September. Even September, we all like to get it in as much as we can in Chicago, because we know that cold is coming back for us like ASAP. So my question to you is, what do you like to do in Chicago in the summertime? What do you like to do? My favorite activity when I'm in Chicago in the summertime, since I travel a lot, I'm not always around. But when I'm in Chicago in the summertime, my favorite activity, honestly, is to take that ride up and down Lakeshore Drive. And seeing that they extended it all the way out towards the south side and far south side, that ride is one of the most peaceful drives. You see the water to your left, coming back, you see the water to your right. It's very peaceful. Turn on your music, whether you old school head or hip hop head or new school. You turn on your music and you drive down Lakeshore Drive. For me, since I live up north, I go from Hollywood all the way down to 95th Street if I can. Make a couple stops, get a little bit of food, and basically relax that entire time. So that's what I like to do. And besides that, I like to take walks downtown and do a little photography and just work out outdoors. It's nothing like being able to show off the hard work that you put in over that winter time that you had, where you basically couldn't do anything. So that's what I like to do. What do you like to do in Chicago? Call in, let us know. Number is 708-223-8953. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to get into the beef and broccoli of the whole thing. I know you guys are really in tune with yourselves, and I know you guys, they got a lot of options out there today, but we're going to go into what it is to get even better, okay? So, as a fitness professional, we like to give out all the information. And for this week's TFR Tip of the Week, we're not changing a thing. We're giving out information, and we want you guys to really chime in on whether or not you think it's something that needs to be done or not. Okay, we know this is America. And in America, we're very vain. We love our image. We think the most of ourselves for the most part. And we love how we really want to make a splash when it comes to how we look physically. So what do? We work out, we stay active, we count our steps, we count our calories, we travel, we do things that will actually help us when it comes to, at least some of us do, when it comes to looking good. We always want to look good, because if we didn't, we wouldn't buy clothes that are flattering. We wouldn't work out. We wouldn't try to stay in shape. We wouldn't eat healthily. We wouldn't do those things. We wouldn't do them. We'd just sit around and do nothing, almost as if we didn't live. We didn't have life. So since that's the case, and since we're Americans, the fitness representative tip of the week goes out to none other than the personal trainers out there. What do you think? Do you think it's mandatory? Do you think it's not necessary? Or do you think it's something that is you can take it or leave it? What do you think? I want to know that as a fitness professional. So hopefully you guys give a call in. Like I said, the number is 708-223-8953. As a fitness professional, which includes personal training, which includes group training, which includes seminars, which includes just giving out general knowledge of what it is to get in shape, be in shape, and live your life in a way that keeps you in shape. What do you think about personal trainers? Do you think they're worth the time, the effort, the money that you receive from the clients? Do you think it's something that should or shouldn't be? Now remember, we're in America, and my earliest memories of a personal trainer, which I didn't know anything about the job at all or the profession at all, my fondest memories would be seeing the beefy guys in the neighborhood lifting weights and seeing them talk stuff to each other and see who can lift the most and see who can, put up the most on the bench and different types of exercises, seeing that you didn't have a gym. So all you had was a bench. You see push-ups, you see bench press. I never seen anyone squat ever until probably about when I got in the military. But outside of the military, I never saw anyone really working out. I just saw everyone playing sports. So when I was approached about being a trainer, someone just told me, hey, there's a job where you can basically help people work out. And you can do that by knowing the equipment. You can do that by knowing all of the things about the gym, and maybe you can assist them in their technique and form when it comes to doing an actual exercise. So I'm like, sure, that'll work. And if it can pay as much money as or more than doing any type of IT or telephone or digital work that was super boring, then I'm down for it. So, it pretty much worked out for me. But what do you think about personal trainers? Do you think we're mandatory? Do you think we should go away? Do you think we should play our role and not give you anything more than a session when you're scheduled for a session? Because if I'm going to give my 2 cents on it, I would have to say that we're one of the most important sets of people around. And when you find you a good one and you realize that he or she is a good one, if you don't take advantage by keeping that person for a long time, you'll notice the difference. And it's something that, to me, whether you're group training, whether you're one-on-one, whether you're in a class, whether you train once in a while, I personally think that everyone should have someone train them in a fashion that allows them to do more with themselves than they would do on their own. So for me, I think it's totally mandatory. I think personal training a lot of times come down to a financial situation. And if you have a financial situation that works for you, I think you have to have a trainer. You have to. There's no way that you should. There's no way that you can go without a trainer if you're able to, for the simple fact that, hey, that person might be able to train you better than you're able to train yourself. Simple as that. It's really no more. There's nothing more to it than that. If you can push yourself, if you can do all of the things physically that keeps you in shape, guess what? A person outside of you who doesn't know exactly how much you can do, a person who doesn't know your body as much as you do, which a lot of people don't even know their bodies, but you get you someone that is professional enough to pay attention to your body, learn your body, and learn what it is you can and can't do. When you get that person pushing you, that person is going to push you much, much harder and much, much further than you could ever push yourself. So to me, it's a no-brainer to get you a professional that can push you further than what you can push yourself. It's nothing like having a fitness professional around to get those gains that you've been struggling with on your own. Because as a person who does an assessment on another person's body and realizes that, hey, it's going to take this and that to get this person to going in another direction. It's going to take so many things outside of what they've been doing on their own to get them to actually succeed. Once you know that as the fitness trainer, you got that person hopefully for a long period of time. And hopefully they understand that over that period of time, it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be without frustration, and it's not gonna be a situation that's gonna come overnight. It's gonna be something that you work on for a long period of time. If it's up to me and I have a client, I would love to have the client for the rest of my life as long as I'm training, for the simple fact that they need me for the rest of our lives, you know? It's not just a 90-day thing. It's not just for you to kick off the summer or kick off the training season in October. It's something that's supposed to last for the rest of your life. So what do you think? Do you feel like we're necessary? Call in. The number to call in, 708-223-8953. We are live on Facebook right now. We're also live on intellectualradio.com. The big question and the TFR tip of the week is personal trainers. I think we're mandatory in life. I think when you get you a good one that cares about you and connects with you, you got you a friend. And I'm not talking the laughing and giggling friend. I'm talking a friend that cares about you just as much as anyone in your family, just as much as anyone you know, because what they want to do, they want to keep you away from the hospital. They want to keep you out of the bed to where you're bedridden. They want to keep you mobile. They want to keep you active. And they want to keep you in a situation that you could benefit from way outside of the physical things that's going on. Myself, I've trained a lot of people, few celebrities, a lot of rich folks, a lot of people who can honestly say that their lives have become different since training. You start to get endorsements. You start to come up with your own things to do. You start to make your own businesses. You do better at work. You get all of the accolades. And a lot of times, no one notices the trainer as much, but that's our part. It's our part to sit back in the background and reap the benefits of what that client looks like or how far that client has gone since meeting them. And it feels great. It feels great. It's like the most joyous thing that you could think about. But there's a lot of people out there who feel like we're not necessary. There's people out there who feel like because there's some situations where the trainer didn't do his job, or some situation where you didn't get the results that you thought you would get, it should mean that we're not mandatory, or that we're not needed. And I couldn't disagree more. But for me, seeing that it's my profession, I'm just glad to be an American in this situation, because you take a lot of countries and they don't really care to work out at all. So for them to pay someone else to do it, that doesn't even sound right. So I'm just proud to be one of those who actually can get paid and make a living as a fitness trainer, and have that be my number one thing I do. It's never good to have just one hustle. But for that to be the main hustle with 3 children, something's gone right over these years. And I just appreciate all my clients for sure for helping that be the case. And it's not always been flowers and candy, but overall, it's been a great ride and definitely something to be proud of. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you think that we're needed? Do you think that we're getting phased out? You got a class going on everywhere you go, you got a class going on. Everywhere you go, you got people trying to do their own thing. They trying not to use us. They don't want the knowledge that we have. They don't want us to tell them anything. They don't want any type of coaching. They just want to do it themselves. And I know a lot of us can be nerve-wracking, and a lot of us can be pushy and really just in it to grab a new client. But it's a tough business, just like anything else. It's cutthroat, and it's definitely one of those things that we got to fight for it. We got to fight for the next client. You got to fight for the next situation. But what do you think? Because we get a bad rap. We get a bad rap from relationships all the way down to the actual worth of our work. And I think it's crazy to even think of not having a trainer. There's no way. If I could have one myself, as far as someone to push me and do all of the things that I need in order to get me to a certain level, I would. But as one, you're always on your hustle. So, it's a little bit different. But call in. The number is 708-223-8953. Do you or do you not need or want or gotta have a personal fitness instructor? I'll tell you a story. Traveling in New York City a lot and traveling for work and training in New York City. Shout out to the Core Club in Midtown. Shout out to a lot of the guys that work at the Core Club. But training at a space where all of the top celebrities come through. When you eat dinner, you eat lunch next to just, you name it. If they're on TV, I'll probably sat right next to them and have them wondering for the next 30 minutes to an hour, who is that guy? Who is that brown guy that's sitting next to me? Who is that that I just don't know? Because this is one of those places where you go and everybody's known to the world. And then you got little old me in there who, you can't tell me I'm not famous and rich. And to know that I sat in that place and ate and trained with the people who you guys see on TV all the time, it's like, man, it's pretty cool on one hand, but you kind of wish the regular people in life understood how important it was, because it's not just about money. And maybe because maybe you can think a little bit clearer once you have attained a financial situation. But when you think about staying in shape, it's easy. You can go right outside wherever you are. You can walk outside right now with your trainer and get in shape and get in a better shape. So, the excuses, it's ridiculous. There's no one, if you ask me, from what I've seen, just working from Wall Street up to Midtown Manhattan, there's no busier person in the world than a finance guy and a realtor and those guys like that. So it's just not an excuse,
Hold on a second, please.
Caller, state your name and where you from.
My name is Kizzy de Blasio. I'm from Chicago.
Hi, Kizzy. How are you?
I'm great. And yourself?
I am fine. What brings you to the phone today on the Fitness Report radio show?
Well, this is my first time listening in, and I wanted to comment on your question in regards to, do you feel that you need a trainer or you don't, or if you need it?
Right.
I personally have never had a trainer, so and I just listening in on your radio show, and I see that it's definitely needed. I think.
True. So what brings you to that decision? Is it from what we've talked about today, or have you just basically seen how you've heard some stories, or you seen how it's worked for people that you know? How'd you come to that conclusion?
Well, I had a cousin, and she actually was working with a trainer, and she, had me go by there to look and, see what she was doing because she was losing weight and she was changing her body.
Right.
Her body just changed, rather. So, and she was like, yeah, you need a trainer.
Right.
I actually got intimidated. I was like, oh, no, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
normal.
normal.
Like, it's going to be a little hard.
Yeah. That's normal. And
Yeah.
I'll say this. I've been told that we're too tough and we're intimidating and that we basically don't we almost don't care that it's going to be hard for you guys. There's a lot of misconceptions. But I would challenge you, Kizzy, to find someone. I don't know where you're located, but if you could find someone in close proximity to you that can honestly just take some time out and get in tune with your body, it doesn't matter if you weigh 100 pounds or 500 pounds. If you can find a person willing to do that and that has the time to do it, and you can maybe compensate that person, once you guys make that connection and it comes together, you will definitely feel better about that for the rest of your life, because it's one of those life-changing decisions that once it happens and it's the right person to make it happen, you feel good about it and you really do cherish it for the rest of your life. Yep.
I agree with you. And I think the timing is now. Timing is definitely now. So, I definitely appreciate your podcast and just education is very important because you only have one life and one body. So you have to value it,
Yes.
So, and money shouldn't even come into play with it. It should be about you.
Yep, exactly.
How you value you. So
and we,
I appreciate that.
Right, and we spend a lot of money on things that are less important. So I'm pretty sure most of us can throw this in there also.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for calling, kids. You have a wonderful day, and you get you that trainer like ASAP.
Okay.
All right, take care.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, so like I was saying, this like the caller said, a lot of times you go through your whole life and you never even run into someone that's willing to take charge of your body as an outside source. But I love to hear stories where, hey, I've never had a trainer. I've never even thought about ever having a trainer, but my friend got one and she got in shape and she got smaller. She got into a contest or this or that. You hear so many stories, guys. And those stories, some like touch home. And then some are strictly for you to just take and run with because, like I said, we all need a trainer. And that's just my opinion. We all need a trainer. And if you're able to get one, especially if you're out of shape, if you're able to get someone to help you stay from the doctor, help you stay away from anything more than the checkups that you need, someone to help you get rid of the medicine that you've been taking, all of the over-the-counters, all of the things that you really do run into when you're not in shape. When you can find someone to help you do those things, you keep that person around. And if you haven't met them yet, you go find that person and you keep them by your side for the rest of the time. When you get too busy, sometimes they might fall off. But remember, just like anything else, you want to be the best at what you do. You want to look your best. You want to be your best. And once you look your best and you're not settling for what you look like, don't settle. Just don't settle, guys. Go for whatever it is you feel like you want to look like. Go for it 100% full speed. And I guarantee you that once you get with the person that can help you fulfill those dreams, I guarantee you feel better about yourself. It's so important. It's so important. So like I said, the number to call in is 708-223-8953. really do think that it's worth it, and if you have any reasons that it's not worth it, state the reasons. State the reasons. If you feel like it's something that just hasn't worked for you, because I've had a few clients come to me saying, hey, I've had trainers in the past, I've had people to teach me this and that, and I've learned a lot, but I feel like it's not for me. I don't want to be in a one-on-one situation for that long with a client. And I'm just thinking to myself, you work every day for up to 8 hours, and you're around some knucklehead next to you that's trying his best to make you lose your job. You telling me you can't get with someone who's out to help you for 1 hour or for 30 minutes? Because they got all type of workouts out there these days. I was in New York City recently, and I was working out at a private studio, and I saw Sean T over in the next room. And he's doing his thing, and he's very flamboyant with his whole style of fitness. And I'm sitting there like, that lady's about to see Sean T for 30 minutes or less. She couldn't have been in there no longer than a half an hour, maybe. And, we like to train for a half an hour to an hour, but this particular time, the lady wasn't in there for any amount of time that you could even think about getting a workout unless you, as a trainer, So shout out to the people like that who, whether or not you got the time, you're going to make it. You're going to make it happen no matter what time it is. So shout out to those who really do understand that it's really needed. And if you feel like it's not, give me your reasons why. I want you to call in and ask why. So what we've been talking about in this segment is whether or not you feel like it's important to you to have a trainer. But we want to also go into another aspect of the same topic. So what we want to do is just put it out there to the public. We want you to take this time to call in and ask the trainer. We're taking questions. I'm taking questions on anything health and fitness. I'm taking questions on anything that you feel can make your life better physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. This is what we do at the Fitness Representative. This is what we do at the Fitness Report radio show. We want the situation to be ideal for you. We want to make you feel good no matter what's going on, no matter what shape you're in life. We go through a lot on a day-to-day basis. And because we go through so much, I think that there has to be a getaway. There has to be a time where you can say, hey, basically what I need from you, or what I need from God, or whoever your higher power is, or whoever your best friends are, what I need from you guys is a reason to push forward, a reason to go on. And because no one can do it alone, we know that. We know no one can do it alone. We know no one can fix themselves without the help of something or some outside source. So what we're looking to do is see how is it that we can help you guys here at the Fitness Representative. We want to know if you're going through anything strenuous as far as health and fitness, as far as even on the mental side, what is it that you need? What is it that you think you need to be assisted with? What do you think you can get from someone else who cares about you? What do you think you can get from someone who really is in tune with your needs and really can play a healthy part in your life? Because we all know it's some good and bad people out there. Just like anything that goes on, you're gonna get the good and bad. You think about doctors, you think about nurses, you think about fitness trainers, you think about anyone who anyone who can play a part in your life that can change your situation, they're going to be good versions of that person or that profession and bad ones also. So if you can find someone that you can trust, and if you can find someone that you could definitely say is out for with my well-being as top priority, then you need to latch on to that person. You have to. You have to. And as a fitness professional, as a father, as a son, and as a loving human being, I want to be one of those people to help and really pay attention to others and help them get to a better place, because someone did it for me. I had coaches, I had my parents, I've had friends and people who I know that really have motivated me. Shout out to Coach Jackson, shout out to Coach Holmes, shout out to Billy Holmes. For those who I remember as a Harvey Coat, we had Coach Mays. Coach Mays was a motivator. We had Coach Morgan. Coach Morgan was a motivator. We had Coach Silas. These guys were motivators. They were men who took charge of those who they felt needed them and put an impression on us guys that lasted to this day. That was 30 years ago. That was 30 years ago. And you still remember those situations that those men put you in, that you benefited from and that you could take for the rest of your life and turn into a good situation. So I want to be that person also. I want to make sure I'm always that person. I want to make sure I'm always in a position to help and be there for those that need me. So, like I said, today, TFR Tip of the Week, actually to figure out whether or not you need someone, an outside influence, to train you, to influence you to do things better, to influence you to be a better person. We all know the numbers. We all know the numbers of obesity. We know the numbers of inactivity and living those sedentary lifestyles. We want to know if you had a chance and you could get you someone who could help you. Would you do it? Is it strictly a money issue? Is it strictly an issue of time? Or would you make time for it just like you make time to go to lunch and eat all this bad food? Just like you make time to go to the outlet malls, which take way more than 45 minutes to an hour. Just like the money you spend on the purses, the shoes, the clothes. You think about it. You walk down, you think about it. There's only a few gyms that go from coast to coast. There's only a couple. But you think about all of the stores, all of the malls in America, and all of the stores that go from New York to California and all points in between. If you think about it, and you think about how we've made those people filthy rich, because everywhere their stores are, that's the good part of town. You think about it. And you think about why we do it. We do it to cover up something that should shine brightly every day, to cover up something that we're probably a lot of times not so comfortable with. And that thing is our bodies. So just in closing, if you're not out here getting it in as far as the workout, whether it's for your health, whether it's for your appearance, whether it's for your profession, get out there and get it in and get that workout. Because for me, I personally try to do it just to look good once all of this is gone. Once you take off all of that, you want to look good. But for those who have a different situation and they just want to make sure they are healthy, that's your reason. But for whatever you do, whoever you are, find a reason to and make sure that you press that reason 100%. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself on the losing end mentally, and it really is something that you just don't have to fall by the wayside on. It's something that you can control, and it's something that definitely can be taken care of by just a little bit of attention to detail. And always remember, you got you a trainer, you got you someone in it to win it with you for the rest of your life. So shout out to all my clients who have been around for over a decade now. This is the 11th year of the Fitness Representative, and really appreciate you. I hope that I continue to do you well, and I hope I get better at what it is that I'm trying to convey to you, so that you're always on the up and up, and that you're always feeling good about everything that's going on. So shout out to everyone out there who's getting it in. It's May. It's time for you to get in shape. It's time for you to take this next month and really pay attention to who you are physically, who you are mentally and spiritually, and you give that to the world in the version of all it is to be during those summer months in Chicago. So much love to y'all. This is the Fitness Representative, representing fitness for life, and we are out. Let's go. Much love to y'all.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend, no matter if it's rain, sleet, or snow. Peace.
I see you, baby.